You use it every morning. You squeeze it out, you brush, you spit, you move on. But here is the shocking part. A minty feeling does not always mean true cleanliness. That cold, fresh taste can be part hygiene, part illusion. And the secret history of toothpaste is far stranger than most people imagine. This is not just a story about clean teeth. It is a story about fear. Fear of bad breath. Fear of looking poor. Fear of being unwanted. It is also a story about confidence, beauty, and one of the smartest marketing battles in modern history. Tonight, we travel from ancient powders and crushed shells to glossy tubes and bright smiles. And by the end, you may never look at your toothbrush the same way again. Chapter 1. Origin. Imagine a dry morning thousands of years ago. The sun rises over an ancient city. A man stands near a clay bowl. He has no sink, no bathroom mirror, no mint gel. He wants clean teeth, so he uses what he has. Crushed bone, burned eggshell, powdered ash, sometimes even rough sand. This is our first mini-story. An ancient Egyptian, or maybe a Roman later on, rubs a harsh powder across his teeth. The feeling is gritty. The taste is terrible. His gums may bleed. But in his world, this is normal. That was early toothpaste. Not a smooth white paste, not a cool stripe with extra fresh flavor, just rough material used with hope. And that makes sense. Human beings have always cared about the mouth. Teeth help us eat. Teeth help us speak. And teeth show health, age, and status. Pause for a second. Even in ancient times, people understood one simple truth. The mouth changes how others see you. Some old mixtures included charcoal, herbs, salt, and plant parts. Some helped a little. Some probably damaged teeth over time, but people kept trying. Why? Because dirty teeth were visible. Because bad breath was social. Because the mouth is personal. And here is the first big twist. Toothpaste was not born as comfort. It was born as effort. Hard effort. Painful effort. For centuries, cleaning teeth was not a pleasant habit. It was closer to a rough survival routine. Then slowly, something changed. People began to care not only about disease, but about appearance. Not only pain, but presentation. Not only health, but image. And once image enters the story, everything becomes more powerful. Because what happens when a private habit becomes a public signal? That is where toothpaste starts turning into business. Chapter 2, The Rise. Now jump forward. Cities grow, factories rise, mirrors become common in homes. Advertising begins to shape daily life. And suddenly, the human smile becomes a product. In the 1800s, tooth powders became more organized and more commercial. Later, creams and pastes arrived. People started selling dental care in jars, then in collapsible tubes. That tube changed everything. It made toothpaste portable, clean, modern, repeatable. Not glamorous, not yet, but close. And here comes a question. When did brushing stop being rare and start becoming normal? The answer is not simple. It happened slowly, through dentists, schools, soldiers, and companies. Armies learned that bad teeth made weak soldiers. Schools taught children basic hygiene. Doctors talked more about germs and decay. And brands saw a golden chance. Toothpaste was no longer just medicine. It was becoming a daily ritual. Here is a pattern interrupt. This was not about teeth alone. It was about routine. Once a product enters your morning, it enters your life. Companies understood this deeply. Sell a person one tube, and you sell one item. Teach a person a habit, and you sell for generations. So brands began to sell more than paste. They sold the idea of freshness. They sold discipline. They sold self-respect. A clean mouth started to mean a clean life. A bright smile suggested good manners, control, and class. It sounds simple, but it was powerful. The bathroom shelf became a stage, and on that stage, toothpaste was a modern hero. But there was one problem. Most people do not change behavior just because experts tell them to. People change when emotion arrives. And the biggest emotion in this story was not health, it was shame. What better way to sell toothpaste than to make people afraid of not using it? That dark idea would soon explode. Chapter 3, The Dark Turn. In the early 20th century, advertising became sharper, smarter, and much more psychological. This is where our second mini-story begins. Picture an advertising office in America. A man in a suit studies one problem. How do you convince millions of people to brush every day? Telling them to avoid cavities is not enough. Cavities feel distant. Pain comes later. But social fear? That works now. So advertisers push a new message again and again. Bad breath can ruin your life. It can cost you love. It can embarrass you in public. It can make others reject you without saying a word. This fear was sometimes described with medical-sounding language to make it feel scientific and serious. The message was simple. Maybe people are avoiding you, and you do not even know why. That idea was brutal and brilliant because it attacked the invisible. You could see dirty teeth, but bad breath? You could never fully check it yourself. So insecurity grew, and insecurity sells. Suddenly, toothpaste was not just cleaning your mouth, it was protecting your social life. Think about that. A private anxiety became a mass market. This was bigger than hygiene. It was emotional engineering. Here is another pattern interrupt. The tube in your bathroom was becoming a confidence machine. Ads showed smiling women, successful men, happy couples, and perfect families. The message was clear. Fresh breath means acceptance. White teeth mean opportunity. Use the product or risk being left behind. Was all of this honest? Not always. Did all mint products truly clean deeply? Not always. Did the fresh taste create a strong feeling of safety? Absolutely. That cold burst in the mouth became a signal. Not proof of perfect health, a signal, a sensation, a story your brain could trust. And once people connected mint with cleanliness, the game changed forever. Because now toothpaste had something stronger than science. It had symbolism. Fresh taste meant, I am okay. Foam meant, it is working. Whiteness meant, I look right. And those ideas spread fast. But history was about to turn again, because the world itself was changing. Wars, industry, media, and global brands would carry toothpaste into almost every home on Earth. Chapter 4. The World Changes. The mid-20th century changed the game. After wars and industrial expansion, consumer culture grew fast. Products became symbols of progress. Homes filled with modern objects. Soap, shampoo, deodorant, and toothpaste all entered a new world. Mass consumption. Families were told that good citizens were clean citizens. Healthy homes were organized homes, and a clean smile fit that dream perfectly. Then science stepped in more clearly. Fluoride became one of the most important additions to toothpaste in many countries. It helped strengthen enamel and reduce cavities. Enamel is the hard outside layer of the tooth. This mattered. Now brands had stronger medical support, not just emotional language. And that made toothpaste even more powerful, because it could now stand on two legs: real dental benefit and powerful marketing. That is a dangerous combination if used badly, and a very effective one if used well. Television pushed the message further. A beautiful smile flashed across the screen. Children learned to brush with cartoon jingles. Adults saw dentists in white coats. Everyone heard the same idea. Brush twice a day. Do it for health. Do it for beauty. Do it for confidence. Do it because normal people do it. Can you see what happened? Toothpaste became part of identity. Not brushing started to feel strange. Brushing became automatic, almost invisible. And once a habit becomes invisible, it becomes extremely strong. Here is a third pattern interrupt. The strongest products are often the ones you stop noticing. A person in Brazil, India, Britain, Egypt, or the United States may live very different lives, but many of them still begin the day in the same pose, standing before a mirror, head slightly down, brush in hand, foam in the mouth. That shared image is one of the quiet victories of modern marketing, but it is also one of the quiet victories of public health. This is why the story is complicated. Toothpaste really did help many people. At the same time, brands exaggerated, simplified, and sold emotion hard. So was toothpaste a medical tool, a beauty product, a social shield? The answer is yes, all three. And today, that old history still shapes how we shop, because we are not just buying paste, we are buying a promise. Chapter 5. Today's surprise. Now let's come back to the present. Our third mini-story is very simple. A young office worker wakes at 6:30. Still sleepy, she walks to the sink. She does not ask big questions. She does not study the ingredients. She does not wonder who taught her this ritual. She just picks up the brush, squeezes the paste, and starts moving her hand. Left, right, front, back, automatic, quiet, daily. That is modern toothpaste at its peak. Not dramatic, not memorable, just built into life. And that may be the biggest surprise of all. The product became so successful, we stopped seeing it. Today, shelves are full of choices: whitening, sensitive teeth, charcoal, herbal, extra fresh, deep clean, enamel repair. Some options are useful, some are mostly branding, some are a mix of both. And here is the uncomfortable truth. People often judge toothpaste by feeling, flavor, foam, and packaging before they judge it by evidence. That cold mint blast says, "You are fresh." That thick foam says, "You are clean." That bright white tube says, "You are modern." But are those signals always reliable? Not completely. This is why the old secret still matters. Toothpaste was never just chemistry. It was psychology too. And now social media has added a new layer. Perfect smiles are everywhere. Whitening trends move fast. Influencers sell ideal faces. Teeth are no longer just healthy or unhealthy. They are aesthetic assets. That means the old pressure is back in a new form. Not just, do not smell bad. Now it is also, do not look imperfect. And that keeps the market alive. One more question. When you brush each morning, are you cleaning your teeth or performing a modern ritual of confidence? The honest answer is probably both. That does not mean the whole industry is fake. It means human behavior is deeper than product labels. We do not just buy results, we buy relief. We buy certainty. We buy the feeling that we are ready to face the world. And maybe that is the real secret history of toothpaste. Not a story about mint, not a story about foam, a story about insecurity turned into habit, a story about habit turned into culture, a story about culture squeezed into one small tube. Ending. So the next time you brush your teeth, stop for 1 second. Look at the tube, look at the foam, feel the mint, and ask yourself, how much of this is hygiene and how much is history? Because inside that tiny daily habit lives an ancient struggle, a marketing war, and a modern dream of confidence. That is why toothpaste matters more than it seems. It cleans the mouth, but it also shapes the self. And if one simple bathroom product can carry this much hidden history, imagine what another everyday object might reveal. For the next story, watch the secret history of the toothbrush. You may never see your bathroom the same way again.